When you're ready.
Hey, yo. Warning. The following podcast contains foul language, pornographic content, and insensitive language. Viewer discretion is advised, bitch.
Welcome to another episode of It's a Bit Shit. This evening, I am Sam, as per usual. I am joined by my fellow bukakos, Aaron.
Yep.
And Peter. And the bukakis this evening. We are joined by Seth, Alex, and Rob of the band Odysseus.
Wait, no.
Oh, what have I done?
Seth Lee.
Sorry.
Seth Lee. Fuck off.
I'm sorry, man. I'm really sorry.
Also, when you invited me over here, I didn't realize there was going to be bukakis happening.
Oh, he's self-booked. He's self-booked.
He's self-
I can do that to myself. That's fine.
Just to give everyone a picture of what's happening in front of us, we invited these guys around because Peter and I will be playing a show with them this weekend, which is not something we're going to promote because this episode will come out 1,700 weeks after we've recorded it. But we invited these fine gentlemen around to our house. They've rocked up. I'm not going to say blazed out of their mind, but they're somewhere close to it.
Legally inebriated.
Sorry. And now,
sober as a kite.
And now they've poured themselves a bunch of drinks, and all I can see is a bunch of Red Bull and alcohols I can't identify.
Some of this stuff isn't legal up here. No. Cut across the border.
I saw you guys have crock piss. Crock piss? It's like an alcoholic beverage.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I saw that was
Yeah, it's a thing. It is a thing.
I've never seen that.
There's like maybe one or two bands that are endorsed by it up this way, and it's like sold at maybe like 3 or 4 places.
Crock piss.
Yeah.
What
they
is
do,
it exactly?
They do vodka.
Know?
They do
It's a vodka.
They do vodka. They do whiskey, and they do something else. Like I've only just seen bits of it. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
That's fucking amazing.
Crock piss.
Yeah, that's what they call it. Marketing genius.
That's fucking amazing.
There's no more ice. Oh, there's ice in there.
Gentlemen, would you care to tell us a little bit about your band before we get started with the show? Maybe self-promote yourself, like a self-book, but promotion for your own band?
We play very interesting music.
You sold it. You sold it.
Wow. Where can I buy tickets to your show?
Tickets can be found on the lines.
If you do need, you can take your headphones and walk yourself to the freezer. It's a whole
I'm
thing.
going to do that real soon.
I got this.
After I'm finished shamelessly self-promoting.
You're doing a really good job so far.
Yeah.
Get your tickets on the line. They play
we have a
music.
keyboard. I play the keyboard. There's a drum kit and a drummer. And also
introduce him
someone
as
who
well?
occupies the mid-range on the guitar. And I also sometimes occupy the mid-range. But we share.
And you might hear some music on the onlines by the time this is
We
out.
sing together.
That's it.
That's beautiful.
It's pretty good.
Oh, wait, let's harmonize right now. And then they never did.
Come on, get on.
Come on, get on. What's that song?
Get on the bus.
I don't know what you're singing.
Get on the bus,
Get on
son.
the face, ho.
Get out my face, ho. Get out my face, ho. Get out my face, ho. Get out my face, ho. Beautiful.
I'm sorry. So, guys, look up Odysseus. And they do travel around Australia quite a lot.
Yeah.
Look, if that
Fuck
performance didn't convince anyone, I would be surprised.
At the point of us, at this point now, how long have you guys been on the road this time?
I've gotten 2 Centrelink payments. 2 Centrelink payments. So that's at least 28 days.
Since the 4th of June, I think. Yeah, 4th of June.
Yeah, okay, rock and roll.
So I'm going to say about
That's a month. Is that about a month? Is it the 4th
32
today?
days.
Yeah,
33,
It's
34.
the 7th.
It's the
today.
7th, so
Yeah.
just
34
over a
days.
month.
33, 34 days. 33 days.
So it makes sense for the deterioration of your minds. It's great. No, good.
We've been going downhill in a real bad way.
What do you mean? I've been going
You think
uphill.
it's a joke?
cunt. I've been going fucking uphill.
We're degrading. We're all degrading.
That's good.
Mentally.
Mentally.
Retrograde's an amazing thing. It'll be fun.
It's been going downhill. It's one of those things you don't really notice it's happening until you realize, oh shit, there it went. It's like, it's a gradual thing.
I've been keeping up with the workouts.
Yeah, like,
thought you were
we
looking
might look
swole.
okay, but we're not.
Yeah.
What do you mean I'm fucking X?
He's wearing his
Excellent.
sunglasses.
He's wearing sunglasses.
Sunglasses inside at 7:30 p.m.
Oh, look, feet off the table.
There we
Feet
go.
off the table.
This isn't the van now, mate. All right.
All right. Thanks for that, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Let's get on with the show. So this week, the movie we are doing, the film of which we have chosen, is Men in Black. Aaron, would you like to give us a little reading monologue thingy that we do for Men in Black? And Peter, do you want to just play some real smooth sax or something behind him?
Of course I could.
Yeah, okay, cool. Let's hear it.
Men in Black is a 1997 sci-fi action comedy starring Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith. This exophilic wet dream grossed over $589 million worldwide on a budget of just $90 million. A crazy amount of money, yet still not enough to get Will Smith to stop rapping. The movie follows Will Smith, who looks like a gangbanger turned police officer, as he tags along what can only be described as what Tommy Lee Jones probably does in his actual spare time. From angry stares to angry laughs, follow Tommy Lee Jones as he trains a classic 90s I answer to no man officer to be more like a 60-year-old government worker. So put one hand firmly on your little cricket, stop petting your missus cat, find that roach, sit back and let us tell you why Men in Black is a bit shit.
Oh, yeah.
That went flat fast.
I got a half chub from that, and then it degraded and it sucked into me.
Perfect.
This is going to be a rough episode. But hey, let's start with these sweet new sound bites we made, Peter.
Yep.
And let's talk about what... Wait, how do I do this? Let's talk about...
What's good about
Is that both you?
That's beautiful.
It's Peter harmonizing with himself.
Yeah.
Harmonizing with himself.
He is a married man. That's all he does these days.
At least I'm in harmony, all right?
Oh, you're a fuck.
It's a
I was
thing
going to
of
take that
beauty.
joke.
Too late, bad.
All right. So, this is going to be rough. We've never done this many guests before. But let's see how we go. What is good about the film? Gentlemen, what do you like about it?
You know, I'm just going to butt in real quick. When you first invited us here to do this, I'm like, Men in Black, fuck, that's a really good movie. You know, I don't know how I can fault it that much. And, you know, we watched it again today. I'm like, that's still a really good movie. There's some parts that are a bit shit. But overall, it's a bloody good movie. It's just damn
You
good.
just love it? You just
Yeah.
love it? Excellent. Excellent.
The little aliens, they're pretty sick.
The little coffee guys.
Yeah, the little...
The Mexican aliens.
The non-racist aliens, yeah. What about you, Seth?
What about me?
Did you like the part with the ball was flying around? Did you like that?
No. I like the part.
That's a fucking great part too, man.
Solid part.
That was a beautiful part. Peter, how
I've
about you?
completely blanked out.
Yeah,
it was
you
pretty
passing
fucking
out.
good.
Yeah, it's cool.
It was actually really fucking good.
Excellent.
The whole entire thing.
It's well put together.
Oh,
That's what I was getting at. It's
Yeah.
like it's yeah.
No, it is a good time. I enjoyed it. Like watching it back again, like until I actually sat there and started pulling it apart meticulously, like I do. I was having such a fantastic time. Like,
I'm sorry, you did?
You did?
yes, I fucking did. You pieces of shit.
Just so you guys know, Peter's wife usually does all this work for him, and he just brings her notes in.
Well, she's got time. No, she's
Well,
gonna
so
hate
can
me
you
when she
cut
hears
that
that.
out?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sam, please edit. Just mark that there. It's a place to take out. No. I've been doing them myself. Thank you very much.
Big boy.
I'm a big boy. I haven't even cross-referenced notes with Micah. No, no, I think it's a good time. Like, it is a good film. In the end of the day, like, it's very light. It knows what it is. Like, and I think from that, it's a good time.
Oh, Miss Morg is also pretty attractive.
Oh, Miss Moore.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, she's
that
also
one.
a good time.
Yeah, no, I'd penetrate.
Excellent.
Impregnate.
Aaron,
Yeah.
do you like it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, no, it's a good movie. Miss Morg, banger, apparently. Yeah, no, it was good. I watched it, and wrote some notes, and then I was like, fuck it, I could just watch the second one now. I couldn't, but I did. I wanted to.
Yeah, the second one's good.
Yeah, it was just nowhere on streaming, and I just couldn't be bothered to download it legally.
The second one I remember is Metal Tentacles.
Just Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah,
Metal
Johnny Knoxville.
Tentacles.
I think you're thinking of Spider-Man, but anyway.
This is true.
Like, I like the fact you're referencing tentacles this early in the story, because in this area in the part, because the fan fiction section actually references tentacles quite a bit as well. So
That would make sense.
No, I'm probably thinking like the end of the Matrix series.
there's some tentacles in that.
Yeah, there's some metal tentacles.
There absolutely is.
Yeah.
Of course there is.
All right, so I think it's pretty unanimous that we all very much like this film.
Yep, it's a banger.
That's
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. We all like it, which makes this next section a little bit harder. Here's another sweet soundbite that Peter and I made. Let's talk about...
What makes it of a
Wait, before we go on, can I at least have my right foot up?
Yes, you can.
Just don't knock any drinks over.
Oh,
your
yeah,
mind.
no, fuck yeah. I'm coordinated as a fucking bee's dick.
That doesn't sound very
I
coordinated.
suppose that's coordinated.
Sure, I think that's.
I don't know enough about bees to comment on whether that's...
I assume
Yeah.
bees procreate in the most efficient manner possible.
Bukaki, is it?
Ah.
I think that's honey.
I just throwing it out there, though. If a bee bukkake was honey, I'd be down for that bukkake.
I see.
Put that
you testing
I'd put that bukkake on toast.
This is literally you testing me right now. I got a drink in my leg on the fucking table.
Yes. Stretch that cup, baby.
Yeah, I'm fucking stretching it. I haven't been able to stretch that much today.
Stretch that baby cow.
Right.
What was the question again?
Sorry, we were on to...
What makes it of a
Still a banger.
banger.
Still a banger.
So, whilst you guys sound like you didn't really have anything to talk about, did you have any points that you thought maybe were a bit shit?
You know
Or
what?
do you want us to just take it away?
No. You know what? Right at the end, that fucking spaceship, they shoot the fucker, and it manages to crash right in front of them. In what fucking lands? And what are the odds of that happening? It was over the stadium, and apparently they shot it. And it was like,
I think the land was Manhattan, and they had special guns.
But also, do you know who they are?
yeah,
Who are they?
they're the MIB.
Sexy.
With a theme song like that, you can do whatever you want.
I have to agree with that. I know. Okay, so honestly, so much collateral damage, and surely they can't like memory zap everyone, right? Because it's insane how much they don't seem to give a shit sometimes, and they're just fully, blatantly like when fucking Smitty Will Smith.
There's a character called Smitty.
Smitty. When he's blasting around with that tiny little pistol thing.
Yep.
Little cricket.
And he's blowing holes and shit.
Noisy.
And like, no one saw that apparently. He's on a
saw
street.
it.
Yeah, but like what, they went around and zapped everyone.
Well, they had that
They
containment
got
crew.
Yeah,
Well,
I
no,
know.
I
but
tell
like,
you what,
he's just being reckless at this point.
You know what really shits me off? The fact that when they're in the top of the tunnel and they're driving, this fucker isn't affected by gravity at all. Like, he goes down to the window, he hits his face, but they're accelerating at an immense speed. Why isn't he like, he doesn't have a seatbelt on? He should be shot back into his fucking seat.
That is a
His
solid
face
point.
is squished up against the window.
Yeah, it should be the other way around.
That motherfucker should be dead.
Like, you still are a fucking fast sale going, what is this bullshit?
Yeah, at that point he'd be like, "Do you know how I said put the seatbelt on? I mean, fucking put the seatbelt on, cunt.
How
You're gonna die."
How fucking stupid is that alien as well?
Which one, dude? There's a million of them in this film.
You know that
It's
The
one.
about-
cockroach
about
one. He
aliens.
left Ole Miss.
One with the eyes.
He literally,
yeah.
you know what? We could have hit like Finn on that that movie, the fucking newspaper stand thing. That wouldn't have never happened if he just fucking killed that farmer's wife right from the start. Like, how dumb is that? Oh, she passed out after giving me fucking sugar and water.
Yeah, I don't know why he left her there.
Yeah, it's just
He killed the bug guy.
yeah. And then,
Yeah, but he was killing bugs. So fuck that guy.
Yeah, but I
is
thought he's
true.
meant to be
Yeah.
some like primal bloody genius of the race that's way fucking pathetic insects compared to him, even though he is an insect. He's pretty fucking dumb.
I mean, he is a cockroach, dude.
Small.
Yeah, but he's talking like his dick is bigger than
It probably was though.
fucking
honestly.
fridge.
You
Come
see-
on, think about it.
Did you see him bust out of that skin? He was a big dude. You know, he's packing some
He was
like
large.
some big roach meat. It's just
He's got large roach meat.
yeah.
Have you ever seen a cockroach's cock?
I haven't really looked for one, to be honest with you.
But I'm assuming
But
you
Seth,
have.
I'm sure you're gonna
let's-
tell us.
Yeah.
I haven't either.
How do you go get the shit beaten out of you constantly on the road?
Because I'm a formidable opponent.
Bit of right, left.
Bit of
Left,
oos,
right.
oos.
Good night,
Oos
motherfucker.
fucking oos.
Oos fucking oos.
All right, Peter. Why don't we get started with the points that you had for us, mate?
So we're going back to start a film.
Let's get back to the start of the film.
All right. So they go out on the road. Fucking old dude and older dude.
I think you're missing the first point here. That
Yeah.
fucking font is dreadful.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That
The font is
they
dreadful.
use is fucking awful.
It's dreadful and
You mean the 3.5 minute
Minutes of-
fucking
The
opening scene?
Oh,
Jesus
no.
Which
Why is
disguised
it still
between-
the boss?
yeah,
And
describe.
the credits still going.
Yeah.
Like they finished
Dun, dun,
on
dun,
the
dun,
fucking
dun, dun,
bus.
It was nuts.
So yeah, I mean, yes, that is shithouse. Thank you, Sam. I
Didn't want to miss that point. as
no,
we've
I
gone
know
through
it
that
is
timeline.
it is a whole thing. You get the old mate D, and you think like, right? If you think it's a massive corporation that let him stay home or like work from the office, but like, no, you're 80, you're out there shooting guns and shit. Like, what is this? What is this? You know, like.
Well, I think
what sort of world is
I think
this?
the agents decide when they want to throw in the towel.
And he's
like,
got
I think it's up to the
experience.
agents.
Get him.
No, the worst.
Get him.
The worst fucking part about that is they're in the middle of the fucking desert at midnight, and then he's just like, "Oh, stars look pretty good." He's like, "Yeah, I know what that means. I'm gonna fucking wipe your brain." He's like, "Yeah, thanks."
I have
Wipes
that.
his brain, then fucking what?
But
There's
then
like
to
an
be fair-
80-year-old dude in the desert.
I've got that. I'm like, you flashy thing him out in the middle of nowhere. You heartless cunt is what I wrote down. Like this old dude just like wandering like the border. Like, oh, am I Mexican? I don't know. Like,
They're like, "Where are you from?" He's like, "I don't know.
yeah,
I pissed myself." Like, who?
you poor bastard. The alien, I guugess, like loses his mind for no reason. Like if he knows who the Men in Black are, the Men in Black know who he is. He's a known dude. Though apparently they knew to look for him, but they didn't know which alien it was.
They didn't know it was him because they're like, oh, Mikey, you son of a bitch, fucking
Yeah. But they knew someone was going to be there because obviously that's the reason why we were there. But anyway,
I think he flipped shit because the cop was sneaking up on them.
yeah,
He was
but
being really sneaky. He was being like...
was he sneaky
He
though?
was deceitful.
Or was he just...
He was
like
deceitful.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't
He
know.
was like being really sneaky and coming up behind him, sneaking up on his back.
It's just like, oh, and that gives you the excuse for old mate having to shoot him, and he can't because he's too old to shoot guns now, apparently.
That's pretty useless.
Yeah, and then... Yeah. Do you get him? Oh, yeah, Sonny. I will in a minute. Just give me some aspirin. Like it's kind of dumb. Yeah, and like that leads to you flash that guy in this town in the middle of nowhere. You naughty boy.
You heartless cunt.
You heartless cunt. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
exploded water man.
That's the first 10 minutes of the film. Maybe I'm gonna say.
Quick question.
Yeah.
Is that like, is that the same weapon that Kay uses later on against the pawn shop owner?
I believe it is.
I
yeah.
think so.
So,
yeah.
like, his head grows back, but old mate just explodes.
Well,
I
that's.
mean, different
completely.
types of aliens.
I feel
maybe,
like-
Different type of
like,
alien.
Sure, but
Yeah,
Or
what
maybe-
HP is like.
exploded him completely.
Skin
Well,
reacts differently to the
I
bullets.
guess. I
The,
don't know.
there's one of the big guns where he's just like, turn it up to 5. And he's like, fucking what? And he's like, just shoot the spaceship. Like, it could have been like he's just like.
And that's how they got the
Stop mode.
spaceship to turn around. He had it on the turnaround setting.
Oh, you fucking serious? Turn around. Nah, bullshit. There's no fucking turnaround
Yeah,
setting.
it's just past 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, turn around.
Reverse.
That's 5 right there.
I just like the fact that he just like lets the guys all just like illegally immigrate across. Like, come on, man! Like, they
No,
don't
we
care
should.
about that.
He's got bigger fish to fry. We got his ship. He ain't going anywhere.
He doesn't care. Like, he's got a pretty comfortable job. Like, no one's taking his job.
No, that's true. So it doesn't affect him.
You know what really fucked me up the most?
defending him.
I thought this whole time that the old dude's name was Jay, and that when he retired, like, he just got Jay's name. I just didn't fucking realize that it was just like, it's just the first letter of his name. And then fucking, since I was a little kid, I was just like, oh, so there's only like 26 of these cunts just running around.
It's like
No,
double
apparently there's
saving
only
the world.
fucking 2 of them. But anyway,
But
yeah.
I did make a point of that because if their identifier is just the first letter of their name,
There's just like,
does that mean
hey,
we have like 300 Ds walking around, or does it mean we only have 26 people in the MI?
You only
26
get
field
one
agents?
of each letter.
One of them just sits inside a fucking big room the whole time.
I mean, they,
coordinating shit.
maybe.
So does that mean every guy in that room that was getting tested, those fuckers, all of their names would have started with J probably. We can assume that their names might have started with J.
Why?
Because they were... everybody was there to fill in that position. They all got my...
No, but he's saying that he was wrong and he was a child and he was wrong.
Yeah, I just thought that like they were all like, oh, you're now Jay. Doesn't matter what your name was, you're Jay now.
Yeah, you're vibing on the wrong part, baby.
No. I'm
It's the
skipping ahead.
007
I'm skipping
thing,
ahead.
Yeah,
right? It's James
yeah,
Bond
007. Like, oh, it's a new one.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You're fucking James Bond now.
Yeah.
You're 007. He's like,
Yeah.
no, I'm Greg. He's like, the fuck you are.
Yeah, no, you're 007. Yeah.
I'm skipping ahead. I'm like, all those people in the room, like when he's fucking dragging the fucking table, all those motherfuckers in there, all their names start with J.
I don't think so.
I said you're still vibing on the wrong part.
You're
bro.
vibing on the wrong thing.
Are we still on the intro phone?
No, we're still in the intro.
I really liked it when the robbers took the diamonds from the jewelry store.
What have I got?
No date. No date.
Oh, one thing that shits me to death. Like, okay, so he does all that work, like all the things. He gives him after he catches him, he pulls him out, and he takes him out to dinner and stuff, or interviews him, and then flashy things him, and then does that whole like
Where he date rapes him.
yeah, when he date rapes him. And he still gives him a card. It's like, why? Like, after all that, why? And then
Well,
so
because
it's like,
he could, because from that point he could just go and run away and do whatever,
whoever.
right?
Yeah.
So instead he
Yeah.
wipes his memory so he can contain him, and then he gives him the card to get him to meet him at this place. So whether he does or he doesn't, it won't matter.
I know.
How did that situation of them being at the cafe?
Shut the fuck up. No. I've got one point I need to get out. I have one point I have to get out. Okay, so they hire him or they do all the testing, right? Whatever. It's all good. He's like, yeah, but, he caught this guy on foot. And he's like, yeah, no, you're right. So he flashy things him for that. So he doesn't fucking know what he's done, why he got the job. Like, what is he hired from on that point?
He got
So
the
doesn't
job because he shot the little girl like point blank in the skull.
Yeah, but he was like, he caught this cephalopod on foot, right?
Dragging the table gave him points.
Yeah, he dragged the cephalopod on foot, and that's how he gets the job. But he's forgotten that's why he's got the job. So the one thing he did to
does
get
that
himself...
matter?
Well,
Does that have any
what's the
bearing
merit
whatsoever
on
on the story?
but for him as a human being, what's his merit? Like, he's like, I earned this job because I did something good. He's like, nah, I'm just here.
Well, he still knows he's a cop. He just doesn't remember he caught an alien.
He may have thought he just caught the dude and sent them in, and they're like, that was it. Good job. Fucking dust your hands of it.
Also, for the last... How old's... When does this film come out?
97.
97. Okay.
Did you not hear my monologue?
No, sorry.
It took me minutes to write
For
that.
almost 20 years, I've been pissed off at that scene where he breaks his pencil first up and then tries to use the
put it
pencil.
back
Why?
together.
Yeah.
Why does
Fucking
he do
why?
that? Why
Since
does
I
he
was a
do
child, that has fucked me
Just
off.
use the good
I know,
end and
right?
move on.
Yeah.
With your
Like,
fucking
He
life.
looks worse trying to fix it and write with it.
That has always upset me. Like the
I'm
entire
glad I'm not
time.
alone on that because it really fucks me up too. I'm glad this seems to be unanimous across the room. But it's like, just use the part that fucking works.
Yeah. Instead of writing like a fucking retard because you're holding it up at like the broken end. Like, you
Like,
fucking
for me,
retard.
if I was watching him do that, I'd be like, yeah, nah, get him out now.
Flash the cunt.
Don't
Yeah.
even flash him.
Something
He's
that
holding a pen like a
actually-
retard. He's...
Confuses me a bit is the fact that he got flashed and they were having dinner and drinks.
Yeah.
No, but what was the context of that dinner? Like,
It
what
was a long flash. It did change scenes how long that flash took.
like, how did they actually get to dinner? What was the purpose of going
I'm
to
assuming
dinner?
he flashed the absolute shit out of him to a point where he was happy. Like, kept on
He wasn't
flashing,
really
kept on
happy though.
flashing,
He was kind of
kept on flashing, kept on
confused and
flashing.
just
I'm pretty sure he could have quite easily just flashed him and like been like, yo, we're going to go out for dinner and have a couple of drinks.
And I'm going to stick a finger in you and then flash it again. Spoosh. Oh no, thanks for the dinner.
One point I wanted
Too
to
much
make
tequila.
on Will Smith is I think someone, I'm not the only person that's written it, and you said it in the monologue, but he's a cop, but he's wearing the same clothes he wore in Fresh Prince.
Jesus.
I think like Fresh Prince finished in 96.
Yeah, and so he took the
he
wardrobe
was
from
just
that
like-
and wore that as much as he
Maybe
could in
it's
Men
the
in Black
same
before
He just-
changed
he-
his suit.
He walked off that set. He did Independence Day, and then he just goes straight
The
into
same
this.
character through the whole thing.
Well,
Yeah.
it shows him that as he is born, he said he was
born
born and raised in Philadelphia. It's like the
Philadelphia.
joke that keeps on coming up. Like his teacher was from Philadelphia. Like it's all these like little things to bring him back to the Fresh Prince.
Yeah,
Baby.
shit.
Hopefully, he made enough money out of this so he doesn't have to do tax evasion shit again.
Yeah, true.
Wild.
The other point I had as well is that Will Smith in this movie, he literally is just the same character in this that he is in Bad Boys.
Yeah.
It's just rated M and not MA.
Yeah.
It's the exact same character.
Wait, this movie's rated M?
Yeah.
I thought this was like PG because they don't even say shit.
It's PG.
No, he does say
It's
shit.
pretty hardcore though.
Does he?
Like,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the word.
I
mean, there's
Like,
one
yeah,
guy.
It's pretty hardcore. Imagine all the puke scenes.
Nah, that's not. This is the 90s,
no,
man.
I think more of the shredding and the death and the kill and the murder and
Because there's been a few times like they were about to say like, "Oh fuck," but they were like, "Oh."
So let's talk
no.
about the worst fucking line in that whole movie is "Get your big butt back in the house."
Yeah.
I've never cringed more at someone saying something. It's like, we need to make this film watchable for kids, so I'm saying big butt. Like that's literally all I can see in that line. It takes me out of it.
Get your big butt into the house.
This isn't what this show's about right now. But I must say there was one line that I fell in love with. It was the roach coming in line like right at the ends. They don't check out.
Just
check in.
Yeah,
And then finishing the lines, and I was like, "That's fucking stupid, hilarious."
If you look at the so the whole concept. So I did a bit of reading on this, and the Men in Black is meant to be. It's a Marvel comic originally, but the whole concept is that they always use like out of time context, and that was like an ad from like the 1970s or something like that. So all the jokes he uses and everything they say, like calling me tiger in sport and stuff like that, they're all old sort of.
So just on that, I know we're skipping well ahead to that Roaches check in, they don't check out line.
Yeah,
It's just so shit. I don't care if it's a throwback to something. Nobody fucking got it. Everyone was just like, what? You've got like this big one-liner moment where you cock your guns and you go, Roaches check in. They don't check out.
you think it's just because it looks badass that you got?
No, because it was so shit that it's fucking hilarious. It's funny. It's awesome because how shit it is.
It's like cheesy.
Yeah.
It's not, but it's not a good line though. You could have done something about like fucking
Exactly, and that's
using
why it's
bug
fucking
spray
hilarious.
or
It's
being
so
pest
it's the
terminating or something.
It's
like,
the first time
Or
you
say,
see them.
Martin.
yeah. See, Peter just did a better line then, and it's still bad.
It's the first
It's bad,
time
but
you
it's
see
better.
him like actually gel and have a line together, and they do that stupid.
I'm not
fucking
taking away
thing.
from any of that. It's simply the writing in that thing. It's just
It's
poor,
like yeah, they've
poor
done
choice
it.
of words.
It's
And it's so
a bit
shit, but
shit.
they've done it.
Yeah, it's a bit shit.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is shit, but they've done it. And I was like, oh, they've done it.
Also, I think it's worth noting Will Smith talks hip hop the whole time. Just through the whole film, he's just talking hip hop.
Oh, the girl's like, I've got something to show you. And he's like, damn, girl.
Damn, girl.
Get your bitch out.
What have I also got? So I'm skipping all over the place, I guess, at this point. There's only 1,500 aliens on Earth at any given time. Like, really? Like, that's... And they're all in Manhattan.
They said most are in Manhattan, yeah.
Yeah. It's like...
Well, think about it. Maybe the Men in Black actually have something like some type of Earth airport. And
Yes, we've seen the third one.
It's
No, the
in
fourth one, or
Seattle.
whatever it is.
I have not seen the fourth one.
I haven't
dog
either. I
It's-
haven't
it's-
either.
I did not
dog shit.
mind the fourth one. What was so bad
Is there
about
a
it?
fourth one?
Yeah, it's got Chris Hemsworth and
the
the
bitches
chick who
in
played
it.
Valkyrie in the Thor movie with him.
Oh.
And they're like,
Sort of
oh,
shit.
well, it's
I
international
didn't
now.
care much for the third one, and then I didn't know there was a fourth one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe like 4 years ago or something.
I got another thing when they're deleting James and turning him to Jay. They show his like passport and his birth certificate and what was the? There's another third record. They're all in different towns.
I think they were different states.
Yeah, all different states, all different. Yeah, all
Yeah.
over the
Birth
place. It's like
certificate, passport, and license.
yeah, all in
Get you,
different
motherfucker.
spots. It's like, man, this dude moved around a lot to work just in New York. Like he's moved from like Philadelphia to New York to back to Philadelphia.
I mean, I can understand why a black guy moved from Philadelphia.
He couldn't get out there. He was born and raised.
Born and raised.
Um,
But apparently.
Let's also talk about like the possibility of there being like bad people in the Men in Black because it's already been played with in the series that people aren't good who are in the agency. Can you imagine just like one dude who's a sex offender gets his hand on the mind eraser thing?
oh man, it's so good.
Shit gets dark real
Jesus.
fucking quick. Shit gets real dark
just
real
ting.
quick.
You loved it.
Wait, can I hit my...
I mean, he would be
fancy
safe.
ass thing right
He'd be
here?
safe constantly.
Is it right?
Yeah, okay. That's fine.
He'd be safe constantly wearing sunnies, like he wouldn't get flashy thinged. I guess the Egg hunting the little dude, and he pretends to be a waiter when he's walking through, and the chef's like, "Where's the other guy?" Oh, I gave him a break. It's like if you're working in a kitchen and some random cunt just walks in off the street and be like, "Oh, I gave him a break," it's like, who the fuck are you, dude? Like
He
why are you
clearly
here?
didn't care. He's like, I don't care.
Yeah, but
It's
like
New York. They don't
It's
give,
so they can
don't
make a
give
really
fuck.
bad joke about how he broke him in half.
yeah,
Snapped him in half. So
I gave him a break.
snap.
Yeah, I suppose. Punnies.
I like when they're in the fucking first in the agency and he's showing him all the shit and he's like, yeah, these are going to replace CDs soon. That's such a fucking bad thing. Like, it's just so bad. Because
Tiny.
surely at that point we're already heading digital. 1997. What time? When a fucking LimeWire?
I think Napster was 98, 99.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Just skipped it.
I'll eat my words there. It's just one of those jokes that just doesn't hold up at all.
I've got one double whammy one. When they're hunting Reggie when they're trying to find out why everyone's fleeing.
Yeah.
This should be around the same sort of place. There's two problems with it. One, they say he's fleeing Manhattan, which would have him pointing the other way to where his car's pointing, where you're pointing, seeing the Twin Towers, which they could have just waited a couple of years and they wouldn't have been there and it would have been fine.
Yeah, they should have. They should have thought of that. In the
They
future.
should have thought of that first.
And the second thing, he's like, is there a reason why you're leaving? And like he's like at the door, but he can't see the pregnant chick. It's like clearly that's why he's leaving.
That was your problem with it. Mine was the fact that like he's stuck in peak hour traffic, and then they find him and he's in the middle of
he's
the
stuck
fucking,
in
like,
the turnpike, still something like that.
and he's on like a little off road with like some countryside and shit, and there's like a park.
Off-road, but there's like 4 lanes there.
it's
Well,
just
it's pretty
it's
wide.
dumb.
It's like pretty open. I'm like, nobody comes.
Nobody
Nobody
ever comes.
sees the tentacle action.
That's right.
No bukkake.
Oh, you fucking bastard.
veteran right here, baby. I got the lean down pat. I got heaps more, but like I reckon you should have a lash.
Oh, I'm just jumping in.
Yeah, I'm just jumping in when on points, but that's cool. Aaron can jump in.
I got a
I mean,
1,000
you were
of
talking about how like that tentacle scene gave you a fetish or something.
Not me, but definitely some other people. Like, it definitely was the reason that like tentacle hentai is like more popular in America
Yeah.
for sure. Just think about it, like people 1997 see that for the first time. They're 9 years old. They're like, "What is this? oh no!"
Is that it?
And
Do you
then,
really think that?
and then like there's a big tentacle like whipped out, and they're just like, "Oh."
And that came out of her vagina.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, fast forward, it's 2021. They're Googling like Asian lady, squid, bathtub, enter.
Ryan, is this you?
And they're just like, oh, this was fun. Nothing quite gets to the same high that they did 1997 with a lady giving birth. One other thing I did that no one mentioned is like the dude who plays the cockroach guy does a fucking banger job.
Vincent D'Onofrio,
yeah.
holy shit.
He
Yeah.
does a great
Even
job.
I wanted to make that note, but I keep making notes about how great things are. I'm like, no, I've got to be negative.
I was like, he does almost too good of a job of a dude wearing a skin
Yeah.
of another dude.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
someone check him. Is he wearing someone else's skin?
I was reading, flicking through trivia before we started today, and they're saying he wore like knee braces so that he couldn't bend his knees, so he always had to walk. Like that's commitment to a role, right?
Knee braces, and he strapped his ankles as well.
Yeah.
Plus, hey, I think he had his face taped back as well. To make
Yeah.
He could have done all of this with just a stick up his ass, because that's what it looked like he was for like half the movie. He's like, just gonna go over here now.
Yeah, he was brilliant.
Fucking.
no, he's so good.
I also had.
Jeeves, though.
Sorry.
Jeeves.
Jeeves.
Is that Sequitur? The pawn shop guy.
Yeah, Jeeves, the big of the head.
Was his name Jeeves?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
Yeah,
Definitely
Jeeves.
the guy from Monk.
Yeah.
Yeah. His name was fucking Jeeves. Yeah. That's fucked.
It's because you got to
Jeeves or
ask
something like
Jeeves.
Yeah.
It's a classic throwback to a popular search engine at the time.
Yep. I've got a few things from when... I'm just going to go back a little bit, because I forgot that I had some shit. When gangster Will Smith is chasing after the weird bug-eyed cunt.
Is he wearing a gold chain in that scene?
Potentially. Like, like if he didn't, I'd be very shocked. He's chasing them with some cops, and the overweight cops are like, oh no, we can't get him, because fat cops can't run's funny.
Yeah.
The shitty CGI from when like he gets the guy up against the wall and he whips a gun out and he knocks a gun out of his hand and it breaks and it like turns to fire was the shittest.
It was very Buffy. It was very Buffy vampire going up in flames.
No,
Like
that-
It was just like a broken thing, and then they just like quickly cut and they swept it and they put a
Buffy
little fake fire. Then they're like, it
remastered.
exploded.
Buffy remastered.
That's a banger. I'd watch that. Sarah Michelle Gellar.
It's awful.
Fuck yeah.
Zero lighting
But how good is the line? Like, so how come none of the other, like the police can collaborate? And he's like, well, the other cops are a bit soggy around the midsection. They had some trouble catching up. And he's like, motherfucker, if you were half the man that I am, I'm like, fuck you!
That was like one of the best fucking lines.
I am half the weight you are, or half the man you are. Yeah. That's a banger.
The guy who could run up walls to escape a cop couldn't jump down the walls.
Yeah, I don't understand
Does
how
a
he
straight
managed
up
to get
fucking
so far
backflip.
ahead in some places, but
Yeah.
then Will
Smith,
somehow...
and he's running up.
Caught.
He's not taking an elevator.
Will
The
Smith.
thing is, when you're a black guy
Caught.
growing up in Philadelphia, you learn to run really good.
Yeah.
Will Smith
And,
caught
like,
a food truck and then rode it because it was apparently faster.
yeah, that's a thing too.
Yeah.
But like, so the dude runs away, right? So the flashy-eyed motherfucker runs away. Practically commits suicide.
Yep. But he jumped up there.
Yeah, I don't know why he ran just to jump off and die.
Man, could you imagine if like the alien was black and the cop was white? Like it would just be fine. Like you wouldn't have to worry about it. Like
The most saddening thing is I didn't get to see the end result. Like
The splat.
Yeah, that fucking. That's terrible.
You can
There
go
were
live
two
league. You'll
people
find
walking
enough of
down
it.
there.
Yeah, there was people like they're like, oh shit.
Yeah. And then. Oh, nah, cut next.
Just to
And
go
it would have
back.
been a cockroach splat.
No,
Was he a cockroach dude,
he
though?
wasn't a cockroach
He
dude.
was.
Nah,
Yeah, because his eyes did the thing.
yeah, but it was not.
that's not it.
What
Yeah.
was he then?
He was definitely another.
No,
alien.
He was a
flipper.
cephalopoid.
He had the flippers and shit.
It was a cephalopod.
Yeah, he's the one that Will Smith chased, and he was like, "Well, he chased down a cephalopoid."
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And
Oh, wow.
which one is the cephalopod?
The dude with the flash, the
Yeah, with the
blinky,
flippers.
the two separate flashes
At the beginning.
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
had two
The
The
separate
Mexican
blinks.
alien.
No.
No.
No,
The guy
no.
who jumped like 5 stories of
Yeah,
building.
yeah, no, that
Yeah.
guy. But what does he actually look like in alien form?
No
I
idea.
no idea. Didn't know.
Oh,
idea.
that's bullshit.
Oh wait, no, yeah.
Probably some sort of squid porn, but yeah.
Squid porn.
No one said. This is going back to the beginning as well. No one says shit about that cop covered in blue khaki. Yeah, that's blue khaki. You can't do it. That's a fake one. That's, that's a
come
trick.
on.
That's a trick.
Can't
No one says
boot
shit.
The book.
If someone like if one of you just like rocked up all covered in like blue goo, I'd be like, hey man, there's an oil explosion.
No. It's just
the fuck is that?
It was a gas explosion,
Yeah.
wasn't it? It was a
Yeah,
gas
gas
explosion.
explosion.
Mate, it's
It's
just
like
a
gas
gas
main
explosion. Just a gas
Gas
explosion,
main, it's
mate. I
gas
don't know what
line,
you're
it's
talking
gas
about.
line.
This is
We're
gas.
out in the Mexican borders.
Just a-
8
Just a
policemen
gas
here.
explosion, mate. Nothing to see here.
Gas,
Just, like-
gas explosion.
But yeah, they wouldn't even bother to look at their mate. Like,
Gas
oh, don't worry about
explosion.
that. It was just gas. Hey, by the way, the fuck's on your face?
Oh,
It's
you
a bit of
better get
gas.
that checked out. You shouldn't discharge your weapon, mate.
Yeah, that's right.
Check his fucking car. Like, he's gonna check his gun. He's like, I haven't shot one bullet yet, cunt.
It's
What
too
do you
late.
want
He's
about?
already under there, guys.
No.
I mean,
Constant-
despite Seth's insistence to talk very loudly over other people, he's got a really solid point there. That guy would just have to look at whether he had fired as a firearm or anything like that, and that whole story falls apart because none of them would have fired their firearm.
That's a good point. You're a good boy. You get a star.
Nailed it.
Just going to take a moment to point out how massive the nuts are on that tow truck driver.
it's
He's
New York.
fishing.
It's New
He was
York.
fishing.
Like he shows up with the shotgun. He's like, please, and he puts the gun back. Like, you're not gonna fucking shoot me, cunt. And then he gets shot anyway. But like, his testicles were quite large at that point. And
Just a bunch of thick boys rolling in them pants.
Yeah.
In that overall.
yeah.
As long as we're sort of jumping all over the place, one other thing that really fucked me off was the cranking of the footage to show how fast the car's going. When they crank the footage, like, look how fast the car's going. And it's the only time they do it at the start of the film, and then every other scene where the car's driving, the car's just driving, and there's no more cranked footage.
Yeah.
It looks so
Yeah.
fucking bad.
Because no one gave shit to the car. Like, no one's just like, oh, we need to speed up. This car's a hunk of shit.
It just felt like a
Yeah.
really cheap Three Stooges joke
Yeah.
or something like that.
All,
Like,
all the technology in the galaxy, and we're driving around in a Ford POS.
But
See, they
No.
couldn't even say piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't even hear any swear words. You're like,
it
there
is
was
M.
swearing.
It is M in Australia. Yeah.
But there's no swearing in it.
There's no
There is
swearing, but
shitting.
like
There's a couple of shits.
And
in
He
it.
couldn't even say
the pest
piece of shit.
control. The pest control guy's death is brutal. That's
Hey,
brutal.
but that looked like shit. Like they stabbed
did
him.
look
they-
like shit.
He deep throats a little fucking gas novel, and then like
the idea-
fakest green cloud.
Basically,
around.
what Aaron's
The
trying to say
idea
is, if it
is-
was him, that wouldn't have done shit to him.
Yeah, I'd have been like, whoop, what else you got? Let's go.
Yeah, more Harder, Daddy, harder.
I'm
yeah.
like, is this it?
And the wearing of the skin, the slow decomposition of the body over the course of the film.
That was good.
Yeah,
I did like that.
That was good, but also kind of brutal.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah.
It's like you're just wearing rotting flesh.
I guess in that, but we're
I
also
think we all are,
Australian,
aren't we?
so like,
I mean, yeah.
Up until 24. So all of yous are. I'm good.
He's got fresh skin, boys.
get him.
Skin that little fucker.
Yeah, what's this like? Like, how old are you now?
19.
You're 19.
Yeah.
You're like the biggest loser of all 19-year-olds being on a podcast at 19.
Yeah.
You're like, you've got to be at least 30-ish to like be even close to a podcast, and here you are.
Have you got any
Oh,
grades?
you want to hear my opinion of that? I love watching podcasts. But
No, that's a good mic. Jesus Christ. And we have a 19-year-old on the podcast.
We're knocking out firsts today, guys.
Yeah, really are knocking out first.
That was aggressive, you dog.
I didn't have enough time to laugh while I was sipping my drink, so I had to catch up afterwards.
I have a question to ask, and that should she be wearing a dress in a morgue?
Why not?
How else is she going to get on top of them
I was
bodies?
just about to
That's really, I'm glad we're all fucked up because I wrote, should she be wearing a dress in the morgue? That doesn't seem appropriate unless she's necrophiliac. Then it's just less work.
Yeah, but like, you got to be comfy, right?
I
mean,
want her
what's-
to ride me.
What's the worst that could happen to her wearing a skirt?
I don't know. I just feel like there would be like some
Me
OHS
impregnating
thing
her.
that.
It's the 90s. They're all wearing skirts.
Fair enough.
Skipping to how the little dude gets stabbed in the neck through his meat suit thing, and somehow dies.
Yeah, I actually made that point as well. Right before that, I've written calling the black guy Dr. White.
Yeah, racist.
He was called Dr. Black before or after that, though.
That's still racist.
Well, now he's
Racist.
a doctor. He can be
Black
called whatever
Smith.
he wants.
It was 1997. It was a different time, you know. While dying, the little dude has to be cryptic just because fuck you.
Yeah, he's been on Earth for long enough. He knows that collars aren't a belt.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, why the fuck doesn't he just say the cat? How does anybody know who the fuck Orion is?
Yeah.
And
Nobody knows his cat's name is fucking Orion.
Yeah.
Just say the cat.
Yeah.
And the silver...
The scene where Meat Crocky gets out of the taxi to abuse the guy on the side of the road to ask him where the people keep their dead so he could find him, and he goes, the city morgue. I did some research. There are 40 morgues in New York City. How the actual fuck did he find the morgue so quickly? Like, did he drive around to 40 different morgues in New York City to find that particular one?
And with his quality of driving, mind you.
Yeah.
With his quality of driving, would he get to 40 morgues? I doubt he could even get to one.
I'm surprised
Well, he did get to
found-
one.
I'm surprised he got to fucking New York.
Yeah, did he roll
He
a
had a
D20
spaceship.
and get it right?
Yeah, that was pretty easy. He just fell.
He had a spaceship sticking out the top of the van, didn't
He got from the farm to New York. How the fuck did that happen?
Driving.
You saw no. You
drove a
saw
car.
the way he was operating that
Upstate
vehicle.
New York.
Yeah, it is a thing that how did he actually manage to get there?
If he couldn't bend
Driving
his
like shit
knees,
so bad.
he couldn't bend his knees, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Be interesting.
That would've been a bad
he's,
time.
he's just like this. This is where pull on the steering wheel.
I'm glad that translates well to a podcast.
Yeah. For the people at home now, Seth is doing what could only be described as gyrating towards the sky whilst holding out what could be an imaginary steering wheel with no knees.
I actually did that live once. There was a singing choir. There was a singing choir, and they were doing it with hand signs to a song on the backing track, and I was a truck driver, and I was doing this with no props. I was just sitting on the side of a
fucking stage.
Was this
doing
is this your main gig before you joined this band? Like,
No, this is just one thing I did, but it was fucking stupid. Like, what in the fuck is this?
this is your usual gig, isn't it? This is your side project.
Oh, now we're in fifth, boys.
You can't
Yeah,
say
now
that.
we're
Only one more to
And I do know what to do from that point. Songs were just changing. I had to change radio.
You were really committed to this.
part, yeah.
Yeah,
You were like,
they're
I'ma
just
do
doing
everything.
fucking hand signs to this. They're sitting on seats. They have props and shit. And they're doing hand signs to some bullfuck song. And I'm like, I have to drive a bus for people
As he
who are
pretends to
already
drive past like a
improvising.
preschool and stop and put the window down.
Yeah, so the alien guy getting stabbed through the neck.
Yeah, that one.
How does that kill him?
Okay, bear with me.
gonna.
He's in a machine, right?
Yeah.
Just punctures an
Yeah.
artery of the machine,
Yeah.
and not an alien artery. So it's
I mean,
a
it could've
robot.
gone through
His
him.
cooling system or something gets punctured because she was saying something like, "Oh, the body's overheating when it's dead, and it just keeps getting hotter. I don't know what's going on. Cooling system's fucked." And he's just little dude fried. He's just frying in there, and that's why when he opens it up, he's like, "Oh my god!"
Yes,
But he's too far gone.
Okay, all right.
Could just been
That's
like
the
in a
only
sauna.
thing I've got.
Or he's just gone hungry because he's been in a morgue for days.
Yeah, he could just be fucking starving.
Yeah, okay, I buy all that.
And he's like, "Where's my galaxy?"
Like, it could have used some
Oh, my
explaining.
galaxy is on the lion's belt.
And they're like,
is viable. That is actually viable.
You created some nice plot armor for him.
"Yeah, thanks, man. Plot armor."
Aaron, the creator of Plot Armor. I'm so happy now. Did anyone notice in the scene where he grabs the Indian dude and says, "Where do you keep your dead?" How badly the Indian dude's voice is dubbed over when he says "City Morgue." It's so badly dubbed over. It looks like shit.
I just thought my internet was fucking
Didn't
up.
see that.
It looks so bad.
I think I was too fucking spliced at that point.
I wouldn't believe it.
What?
No way.
Oh, this cup keeps on leaving fucking watermarks on my pants.
It's called condensation, brother.
It's on the other side of the glass.
I then wrote, if Peter ever gets another pug, he has to call him Frank.
I don't know if I'll get another pug.
Oh, wow, okay.
Wait, do you have a pug?
I had two at one stage.
You
Yeah.
had two.
Yeah.
Oh.
And
Their names were Jitter in general.
they had breathing issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Because
like
they
they're
all-
pugs, man.
they all
Like,
do.
and they got bunky eyes. They're a lot of work.
Why would you get a dog that's like looking after a retarded kid?
Well,
And then you're like,
That's exactly what it is. Like,
and then you're
Let's
like,
have a
here's a
Down
better
syndrome
idea.
child.
I'll
They're
have
more fun.
two.
I had an
dog is going to be Down
ex-girlfriend, and we always joked about how we wanted a pug, but we never did because it was like, that's a stupid idea.
And then you got two.
No, her sister was like, I got a great idea. I'm going to buy them two pugs, rescue pugs, and then just gift them on them. And I'm like, yay, we now have 3 dogs, because I still had Tilky at the time. And I'm like, I have 3 dogs, and 2 of them are fucking untrained, stupid pugs. That was not a good time. And they were obese, overweight. Like, the last owner was not good to them. They were rescue pugs.
Oh, yeah, it sounds like they were too good, and they just kept feeding them and feeding them and feeding them and feeding them.
Yeah,
They're like,
good
well,
boys.
you're fucked up, so here's some food.
Good thing about pugs, though, you can feed them like chickens.
Like a whole chicken?
No, like you
it's
can feed them
alive?
like chickens. Like, you just throw out the food on the ground. And they'll
I feel
go.
like you could do that with any dog.
Grains.
No, but like
can
they
do
were
that
just
with
happy
Sasha
with
too.
that. Yeah.
Sunflower seeds.
But there was 2 of them. I'd get a cup and just go. And then, like,
grains,
It just seems like you just couldn't be getting a bowl.
grains and cuttlefish.
these were not my dogs, and I was forced upon looking after them.
You're like, fuck it, have some food. And you just like throw in dry food, and they're just like hungry. So like, fuck yeah.
But I got to mention that Frank is a good-looking pug.
he is a good-looking pug. But then let's also talk about the animal cruelty that comes with that.
Yeah, that's my
'Cause
favorite
he's
part.
straight up shaking a real pug.
That's my
a real
favorite
fucking
part
dog.
of that.
I don't think it is.
That's a real fucking dog.
They made a point about this movie about like even the cockroaches were fake, like that were killed were fake. Like they did not harm any. Like they were like really insane about it. That was a toy dog, and then it was CGI, and then it was a whole bunch of things. They didn't.
Well, it looked really fucking good. It
Yeah,
was
see?
incredibly convincing because I tried to be like, is it fake? And I was like, oh, it's fake.
I think
Shaking
that's
a fucking
The
dog.
cockroach
that's my favorite part of the
squashes.
movie.
Or them hurting a dog.
Just shaking the shit out of it. Like a kid with Parkinson's, you know, he's just shaking the fucking shit out of that dog.
That was a good scene. It's a banger of a scene.
Yeah, I just imagine someone walking past like, oh, they're filming a movie. Is that Tommy Lee Jones? And he's like, tell me the information. And he's just shaking this dog. They're like, keep going, Lily. We got to keep fucking moving. He's a crazy person.
He's got a nice suit, though. Yeah.
Like, literally my favorite part of the movie.
I got the information you're looking for.
Okay, I guess we're in the morgue.
Will Smith is too hip hop to understand a woman's not hitting on him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got something to show you. Damn, girl, settle. She was pointing at her vagina, though.
Yeah, really.
And they were
Yeah.
also talking about cats. So it could be interpreted as like
pussy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm pointing at my pussy. Like, he's
And
looking for the cat.
she could have given more straightforward.
Yeah, there's
You
a
know,
dude
hints.
underneath this table holding my leg. Please save me.
Right? Like, why was she
Or
not just
something.
saying that?
And he could have just
Oh,
cocked
guys,
this gun
it's so that
instantly.
they could make a fun joke in the movie.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
and how-
It wasn't
Yeah,
even that funny.
How convenient was it that suddenly Tommy Lee Jones starts smoking at that point so they can find that guy attached to the roof to realize the cockroach is there? He doesn't smoke once in the entire film. He goes to light up a cigarette. Suddenly now he smokes, right?
Yeah, but he
not
doesn't actually
established.
smoke because he doesn't actually light it because it shouldn't be
Yes.
M. It's like a PG movie. I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So he goes to light this dart, right?
In America, it's PG-13.
Yeah.
Rated PG-13.
So old mate gets attached to the fucking roof conveniently, right above where
His name was David Cross. David Cross was attached to
David
him.
Cross was attached to the roof
Thank you.
by cockroach spunk.
Yeah.
And
How many powers does this fucking cockroach have, by the way?
many. And none of them is using the shotgun he had in his hand when he walked into the fucking morgue.
He just...
But anyway, yeah, it's just like he doesn't smoke. There's no sign of him smoking the entire film. Now, one time he's smoking indoors too. Scum.
Have you been to Japan? Yes, you have.
Yes.
They do that. They fucking love that shit.
Yeah, I love octopus. I mean,
Been to Japan.
octopus.
How do we all feel about the racist joke when he sees like the seat cover and the crown? He's like, oh, he's in a cab.
Yeah. I just love how the roaster just pulls that shit out like straight away. Like, I ain't doing this. Like,
Ridiculous.
yeah, no, there's definitely a racist joke in there.
Yeah. Cool.
It's not.
My next point after that is Elvis is not dead. He just went home as dumb.
That's
Oh, yeah.
beautiful. No, I think that's beautiful. I think that's a
Are
beautiful
you an
thing.
Elvis guy? You're a big
I'm
Elvis-
not an Elvis guy, but I think that's beautiful.
Yeah,
I think that's
I thought
it's
it
like
was
the
a
Michael
beautiful
Jackson
lie.
thing in the second one.
But it's
Like,
just such
it's-
such a dumb setup though. It's like, you know, Elvis is dead, right? Like, who the fuck cares? Like, we listen to dead musos all the time.
This is true. That part's true.
It's like
But
a
the fact-
cheap setup.
if
It's
the
cheap,
fact
cheap
is
setup.
if the fact is that he actually went home because he was an alien, that's cool. But the
It is
setup,
cool.
but the setup is I can agree
yeah.
is kind of
let's
cheap,
just
yeah.
let's just wedge this in here.
I'll
So
put that on
yeah.
the same, like, that screen that they had up with fucking 4 different actors you could see in there. See, like, Sylvester Stallone and Shalom.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, just
To be
wedging
fair,
dumb
there's
shit.
like I was like reading in the trivia. It's like in those pictures, there's Steven Spielberg, Danny DeVito,
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone, the director of the film, the
George Lucas.
the director's daughter, George Lucas as well. Yeah, there's like just a whole bunch of
in
people.
that shot with the
Yeah,
screen with
yeah,
the aliens.
yeah.
Shit, yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
wait, do you urinate?
Yeah, mate.
Yeah. I want one of those.
Oh my word! Well, you can't have one.
You can even have his. He left it there for you.
Don't drink it all, though. I'm saving it.
All right.
Timothy.
Where are we at now? I just sort of like that takes me to the end of the film pretty much.
Yeah, I've got. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Anyway,
This must be a Monica note.
no. It's something I wrote, but like without.
But
really.
I just don't know what I wrote.
Just give me a second. I'm gonna send a text message.
Oh
Quick
no!
market,
Sorry,
quick market,
sorry.
go make a phone call.
Sorry, I just have to remember where I was.
Yeah, we go.
Like when they shoot, so they shoot the guys. Okay, we're finally down to the place. So they shoot the UFO down.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like he comes out. You just go, "Fuck, boss, cunt, you're dead." Like that's why we're here. Instead, they do the whole morale where they like let him put his hands on. He's, oh, I put my hands on my head like this.
Oh, like the Super Saiyan power up from Dragon
Yeah,
Ball Z.
yeah.
that's
He
like-
gets monologuing. He gets
It's like you just be like, all right, see you, bud, bang. Like,
they're all Goku, and they're like, let's just see how powerful he really is.
yeah.
I think we could take him.
So then he eats their guns, and he gets himself eaten. Somehow doesn't like have any he doesn't like have any issues of stomach acid or anything.
My bigger concern is how long can that
He
kind of hold his
breathes.
breath?
Yeah. Is that
He's
like,
in there for a long fucking time.
Did he like just throw in one of those Jedi things? Like,
Yeah, I thought maybe he had some sort of alien technology with him that would allow
It's
him
called-
to breathe.
plot armor.
Plot armor.
Yeah.
Literally, all they could have done to fix that scene is have him put something in his mouth before he gets eaten,
Yeah.
and it would have solved that problem. Or just like jam something in his nose, so it wouldn't matter what.
Yeah.
Or a
Nah.
suppository.
His paws
Something up
were
his
that
ass.
wide that he just could breathe. There was just that much air in his actual fucking.
Eat me, eat me.
He could breathe.
Yeah.
His paws are like that, man.
And I'm guessing, like, I was thinking about that. I'm like, he must have known that he'd be eaten whole.
You'd hope.
No, well, like, otherwise he wouldn't have gone for it, right?
Yeah, because that guy's
like,
got
he,
mean teeth. How do you know he's going
Yeah.
to chomp you in fucking
he,
half?
he must have known that he was going to get eaten whole, and then he'd be able to locate his gun and shoot his way out.
You saw the way he
Otherwise, he
slinkered
wouldn't.
his.
I know. I assume a man with a lot of alien knowledge would.
Yeah, but what's
would
the
know.
what's to say that he doesn't just go like, like he just rips him in half? You know what I mean?
You saw the way he
Yeah.
slinkered that fucking goo out of his mouth, though, and
Yeah.
ate the weapons. If you're like on the field, you can only assume that you're going to be swallowed whole.
Yeah.
Like those weapons were.
They were pretty big, but they weren't human big.
Yeah, I know, but he just had no problem. He didn't bother chewing. He's like, ah, that's right, ah.
It's a solid point.
All right, cool. Anything else after that? I do have two things after that, but I think we all made the one point. But film, they kill the big bug. Do you have anything before they kill the big bug?
How the fuck did he prove that? Yeah, why'd it take him so long to shoot the gun when he was in there? Like he got in there.
Yeah,
Like,
you know how long it took him to find the gun, though. He had
Yeah,
to
but
hold it
like,
for a
Apparently,
long
he had
time.
to explore.
the amount of time it took, it was the amount of time to drown. It was the amount of time it took him to find the gun.
Why are there so many fucking stars in the second shot?
Oh, like in the city.
There are a lot of
I didn't
stars.
think about that. There's a lot of stars to be seen in
certain
being able to
star
see in the
shots.
darkness. But
it looks a bit. Too
Someone
many.
may have even written, and I quote, Bukkake of stars.
Oh, look here.
what have you got? Have you got something there? Sam?
Look, after this, I'm at the end of the film, which is where we all made a point that apparently it only takes 2 days to train him, which seems like a pretty standard training program for any shitty electronics retailer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I wrote, what the fuck kind of business is this? Like,
I mean, as was stated, it's an airport with militarized weapons, so 2 days sounds about right.
Maybe they got a perception filter,
Potentially.
like from Doctor Who. Yeah, like think about it.
Think about it.
Think about
yeah,
it.
the glasses have come off.
Think
Doctor Who's
about it.
come out. Yeah.
Oh, the other thing that really fucked me off is the chick didn't have any training whatsoever. Female K or whatever the fuck her name would be. No training at all. She just happens to save their life.
yeah, and
And then she's just like,
She was very
Yeah.
switched on and seemed extremely unperturbed.
But by the time it got to
By
the end
aliens.
scenes,
Yeah.
by the time it gets to the end scene, she may have been on the job for 4 days. She could have been a veteran.
nah, it was because the newspaper always has up to date information. So he only came out of his 32-year-old coma like a few days prior.
Yeah.
So she's only been there for a few days,
Yeah.
and she's there giving away secrets. They're like, oh, the king of here wants this, and there's just like, oh, we'll just get Dennis Rodman. She's like, oh, he's an alien? What? And they're in the middle of the fucking,
let's
like...
speak about that though.
They're
How is
literally
at
in the
that
middle of
point
the
Will Smith been on the job long enough to know who is and isn't alien when it comes to celebrities? Like, do they just like training for your
He's
alien
had
celebrities?
He's
Like,
had 2
I felt
whole days of training.
I felt like that was a few weeks on at least. Or maybe
Yeah?
a month on at least. There's no really
There's no indicator
specified
of time.
There's
there,
no
is there?
indicated time there on how
Yeah,
long passed
he does have a point. Like,
prior to, you know.
My indication for time on this one, just to build some plot armor,
Or is there
is
a newspaper
the fact
time?
that they go to these magazines to get up-to-date information on stories about aliens coming in.
The
and
hot
other,
sheets, thank you.
Yeah, the hot sheets. Sorry, yes.
and that's where they see about Kay.
And that's what they see about Case. I assumed it would have been days ago. Otherwise, it's old news. And
Maybe
if-
they kept
Yeah,
him in
that's
stasis
true.
for a while before releasing him back to the public.
yeah, they put him in a coma, and then they were like,
Do you know the easiest way for us to tell would be to look at the date on the papers they look at when he's with
Yeah,
Kane,
there you
and then
go.
look at the date on
That's
the
it.
other paper.
"I'm not going to do that."
Think about it. No, if they wipe his memory, they're not going to do anything with him. They're not going to interfere at all.
They're definitely going to finger him. If,
They're not going to
Straight
interfere at all.
You know, but they're gonna
So
finger
now
him.
he has to figure it out by himself. He's like, memory wipe. He's like, fuck.
No, his memory would have wiped and they would have said, "You've been in a coma for 32 years. This is your life. This is you."
Don't sit down in the next 40 minutes. It's going to be tender.
There may be a slight discomfort in your abdomen.
Nah, I think the fucking coma is a continuity error then. He should have just been left in the street and he came back. and
Left
like,
on the street. Like old mate from the beginning.
Yeah.
I guess like the only
think about that old mate from the beginning. You got fucking Flash, and then what happened to him?
how,
he was
how good
literally
is
in the fucking desert.
the outro? How
What?
good is the outro? Like the ending credits.
Why? Because of the fucking.
I feel like that makes up for like any of the bad. It's just that, and like the film clip. Like remember how bad the film clip was, and he had him dancing with the first alien,
Yeah.
and it looks so bad. It's so good.
I don't remember the film clip.
Yeah.
Oh man, we'll
A
bring it
lot
up
of
later.
people
Yeah.
dressed in black.
Jamie, bring it up for us,
Yep.
would you?
It's all come back
Alex
to
got a
me.
good point there.
I think it's come back to me now.
I can see why it confuses.
Also,
Matrix.
let's point out the fact that like the suit went from like a nice, clean, simple
Oh, yeah.
suit to this like I'm now a priest.
I'm now
Which,
a pre-
Peter, I'm
yeah.
sure you've got something to say about that.
Oh yeah. I saw it and thought, man, I hope this doesn't trigger Aaron. But
Just flashbacks, man. It's fine.
yeah.
And also shitty sunglasses again. What's it with the Matrix and that, and both like changing the sunglasses at the end to worse, more awful sunglasses?
Because these guys, this film was actually sponsored by Ray-Bans, I'm pretty sure. So they're all Ray-Ban style glasses.
No, I did see something about how Ray-Ban sales went up for that particular model that they wear throughout the whole film.
Yeah, by like 500%.
But that
or something.
dumb pair that he puts on at the end is fucking ugly. Bug-eyed weird things, man. I don't know what they are.
I remember.
Maybe just because you can't wear them, bro.
That could be it.
Can't pull them off. You're like, they're fucking stupid.
I think we've adequately shit on it. Shall we move on to the next section?
Yeah, why not?
Let's ask some questions and question time. Are you guys ready for this next song?
Yep.
I need you to get your lighters out and hold them up in the air, please.
I don't have one.
time. We're done with shitting on it, so now we ask stupid questions.
That was beautiful. That was good.
That brought tears to my eyes.
The best thing is when we were recording that, we're like, what do we
How's
do?
it, Pete?
And
How's your
I
wine
was
going,
like,
Peter?
Hey?
How's your wine going?
Oh, it's good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good.
Okay.
All I was saying is the best part was when we were recording that, Peter and I were trying to work out what the fuck to do, and I said, well, let's just call it question time. Pete's like, why don't we just do closing time, but question time?
Yeah, that's it.
Beautiful.
And it fucking
It's
worked.
beautiful, isn't it? All right, so now we're going to ask some questions, and it'll be interesting to see what answers you guys come up with, given that you haven't had time to think about them, whereas guests usually do.
Oh, fuck, I haven't actually done any of them either, but anyway.
That's right, we can just talk about it then. So
Give me the questions, Bridgekeeper. I'm not afraid.
Yeah, hurry up.
who was
What's
the real
your favorite
hero?
color?
Who was the real hero?
The real hero.
Oh, D.
No, it's K.
No, it's G.
Who's
Right at the
D?
start.
Oh, old mate. No, he failed.
He couldn't even get his
burned.
gun out.
D's a real hero.
He couldn't even get it up.
Right?
He inspired K to quit his job.
Kay is the man, and as we've spoken about in this podcast, both Jay and female counterpart at the end had very little training. Kay's been on the job since, for 35 years, I think you said.
He was one of the people that saw the aliens, wasn't he? Like,
Yeah, he was the.
He's
was the poor
legit.
guy on
He's
the
the
back
OG.
row.
Yeah.
He's the OG.
OG.
He's legit, and quite frankly, he's the man of the movie. That's yeah.
it's a good one.
Yeah. You guys, what'd you get?
Oh, you haven't written anything, have
no,
you?
you go. You go first.
I wrote the cat's the real hero. Because let's be real here. Had the fucking galaxy on it. All right, didn't fuck off. Like, it stuck by the dead
stayed
alien
there.
dude. It was just like committed.
My hands
Old fucking cockroach was there, and even the cat was like, "I'll fucking take you, man."
Yeah, the cat
Having
was
little
ready to
swipes
go.
and stuff. Like, he didn't fucking do anything, but hero.
Yeah. I think okay. I'm pretty comfortable with that answer too.
Yeah,
Peter?
yeah. I'm just gonna
So
say
you're messaging your wife?
no. I just like
No, just bing, something else is happening.
No, I just couldn't remember his old name, his last name. Sorry, it's Vincent. It's Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's the hero.
He is the hero.
The villain of the movie.
He is the hero
villain.
of the film, though. Yeah. He is the hero
villain.
of the film. Yeah, he is the hero of the film, though. He makes the film work.
Why is that?
Because he wears a good skin suit.
So good.
What he's saying is like from a film perspective,
From a film
from a
perspective.
story perspective,
Sure.
Yes.
he's the real hero.
Oh, okay. Mrs. Morgue is actually the hero because right at the end of the
She's got
movie,
stonking tits. Like, yeah.
right at the end of the movie, she somehow shoots the alien that's somehow regenerated.
That's a good point, actually, for why they
And-
hire her.
Yeah, she somehow like cocks that fucking gun back, finds it after it exploded out of its
Puts
stomach.
it off the turnaround mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn around.
and then fucking blows that alien up.
Yeah.
And also, she's dickable. She's mega dickable. I'd fucking wedge
She's
my
quite easy
cock
on the
between
eyes.
her thighs
You know-
and her ass.
You know, like she's old enough to be your mother, buddy.
what's your
Don't
point,
matter.
cunt?
Don't give a fuck.
His windows down and his system up.
I like them
All right, next question.
German.
Who has the most punchable face?
I wrote Will Smith.
I reckon that cop right at the start with the fat belly that Will Smith is
Yeah,
bagging
the
on.
fat cop. Fuck that,
fat
guy.
cop is a
Fuck
fucking
that guy.
asshole.
Yeah, he's a fucking
Now,
shit cunt.
I do have to ask, you're not just confusing Will Smith, because he is in the scene as well. Like, you,
No, that fat cop didn't know what the fuck he was talking about, and he was giving him shit.
Fucking, he's a dickhead.
Fuck
he's a
that
typical
guy.
cop. He's literally a typical cop. He's a fuckhead.
Yeah. No.
being fuckheadness aside,
Now,
it's,
the Odysseus is their number plate is
Fucked up police.
Yeah, no, honestly, I'm not a fan of the man.
For me, it was actually the chick. She really annoyed me.
Why is that? Why did she annoy you?
Sam's into like anyway.
I don't know. I was like,
the one that's quote unquote dickable. I
yeah,
got
the one
you.
that he wants to put his penis inside of.
Yeah.
Wait,
Um,
actually,
Is she?
I'm really
too
intrigued
convenient?
as to how she, like, just caught in a tree, and Owe didn't give a fuck.
Convenient.
Yeah, like she's
Convenient.
like, yeah.
Everything's very convenient for her.
She has been
she
flashed
lands
like a bunch of times though. Like
She lands. in
she's
a fucking
definitely got a
tree.
tumor. Like absolutely is getting like brain
Yeah, I was
damage.
thinking about that too while watching it. I'm like, people who work at the morgue would have to get flashed so much, when they miss.
Apparently, there's 40
alien
morgues in
death.
New York.
Right? So even more so, they'd be flashing those people all the time. That's
It's just, I feel like it would be a better contingency plan for them to just have agents working at the mall.
that would make more sense.
Well, like the cleanup team's only like 2 minutes away from the actual guys, so surely they're just around the corner from everybody.
Do you just want fucking rice?
I think
good a
Seth,
bit of
I think this whole
wrestling,
time Seth thinks we've been trying to record his hip hop album.
Bust out, let me show you how you go, blow.
I'd listen to the song called
In the
Do You Guys
back,
Want Some Rice?
There's a play. Yeah, we're bumping snow.
Rice?
No, for real though. I got some fried rice, and I don't want to eat the rest because I've had too much carbs today. So if you want rice, I'll reheat it up in the microwave.
That's okay, man. That is all good.
No, it's good. It's fried rice. I made it real good. Trust.
So the question was, who has the most punch first?
And I think we have an answer, ladies and gentlemen. I think we have an answer.
It's definitely Alex.
Yes, most definitely.
Bitch, yeah.
Times 8. Times 8.
What about Reggie? I reckon he could punch him right in the face.
Yeah, he looked like a typical 90s boy.
Yeah.
He was so shit.
Yeah, man, he needs a good old punch.
Yeah, he needs a decent
Which one was
punch.
Reggie?
He's the alien
I don't-
fleeing at the start.
I don't think
okay.
so much a
So-
punch, more of a slap.
Yeah, maybe a
He
slap.
couldn't take more than a slap. Though. He looked like he's
He's
about to
a
shit his pants
fucking
like the whole
pussycat.
bit.
Yeah. I get that. I'm down with that.
Mikey's a pretty cool until he turns around.
All right. If we could recast one person from the film, who would we recast them to?
Wait a second.
That's
Okay.
hard.
K into
No.
what's that guy? What's that guy from Sean Connery? K for Sean Connery.
I don't know about
I
that.
reckon Sean Connery could do K. I honestly think Sean Connery could do
What
K.
about the one we just throw Marlon Brando in the mix too?
Well, funnily enough, Clint Eastwood was offered the role of K. And
There you go. Imagine that. I mean, I could kind of imagine that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could also imagine Sean Connery as K.
He's a little bit too serious.
K is serious. And Sean Connery can also be there.
I could see that. I could. He'd be like, we have to escape this prison.
For real, like shit.
It would have been a good one to see.
He
But
would
then-
have been.
But then
yeah.
people would be like, "Oh, Tommy Lee Jones was going to play it as well." And people are like, "That would be wild."
Yeah.
I
yeah.
can't
No,
imagine
I
him
think
doing that.
Tommy
That
Lee Jones
would
fits the
be
role for sure. For me, if anyone, it'd have to be the woman. I can't remember her name.
Yep.
But,
She could be the girl from Fifth
honestly,
Element.
everyone else to me fit their role very well.
Who would you recast her with, though?
The chick from Fifth Element.
I know exactly I know what the answer is. The answer is Elaine from Seinfeld.
Oh,
Element.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's is that
Multipass.
Mila
Jovovich.
Jovovich?
Multipass
Mila
could
Jovovich.
be the recast.
Nah.
I would see.
Nah.
It's Elaine from Seinfeld.
I would see maybe a
Yeah.
Keira Knightley.
She would be in like.
I would
four
just
at
watch
the
that
time.
for Keira
I don't
Knightley,
watch
though.
Seinfeld. Alex actually watches Seinfeld.
I could see a Keira
And I
Knightley,
hear him
yeah.
watching Seinfeld every night.
Because Seinfeld's amazing. That's why.
Or fucking Ripley. What's her name? Alien
Sig-
Ripley.
oh, that's Sigourney
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney
Yeah, I could see Sigourney Weaver in there.
Yeah.
For sure.
You want to get?
Oh, Jesus.
Do you have not thought of it? Do you have not thought of anything yet?
Not really.
Okay. I'd replace Will Smith with Samuel L. Jackson.
Now that would change the whole movie dynamic,
Yeah.
I feel.
Then it would be MA.
Yeah. Because I think it'd be great, like, bunch of old dudes just, like, looking up at the sky, just swearing at aliens and shit. Like,
And Tommy Lee Jones and Samuel L. Jackson would work so well together, too.
right?
Yeah, holy shit. I've had it with these motherfucking aliens on this motherfucking planet.
I had it with these motherfucking aliens on this motherfucking planet, bitch.
I don't think he says bitch a lot.
Yeah, I think he says bitch.
No, that's Jesse Pinkman.
Oh, yeah, you're putting Jesse Pinkman with all of your voices.
For sure.
Yeah,
That
word.
explains a lot.
Why am I vaping into the mic?
You're hoping that it also wants vape. If Tim Burton was holding a Helena Bonham Carter to your head and would only let you live if you got a line from this film tattooed on you, what line would that be?
I'm sorry, I missed the first part. If who was holding what to me?
If Tim Burton was holding a Helena Bonham Carter to your head,
I don't know what that is.
that's the actor that Tim Burton uses in every single one of his films, the chick. Yeah.
You know, like Edward Scissorhands and
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
well,
I'm familiar with the Tim Burton films.
Well, like his ex-wife / the woman in every single movie that he's ever made, Helena Bonham Carter, I think her name is.
Bonham Carter.
Whatever. He's holding her to your head and was just like, you fucking better get one of these lines in this movie tattooed on you or I'm going to fucking pull whatever trigger
Well,
I
don't
need
want
to.
that. I don't want that.
So what's the tattoo? What's the line from this film you're going to get tattooed on you?
I want the one that he says that we were saying before. The humans are.
Oh, yeah.
The human is smart.
Person is
The
smart.
person is smart. Humans are crazy animals, and you know it. People
Yeah.
are great. Yeah, I want that. That's
That's what you get on
that's
you?
it. Yeah,
That's
me.
that's very close to mine by almost exact.
Well, Aaron, why don't you give us yours now?
Okay, well, mine's a back piece. Okay, classic, timeless back piece, and it is the quote. Yeah, where was the actual quote? Oh yeah, there it is. A person is smart, people are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals. And then the actual picture is going to be Kay shaking the shit out of the pug.
That's good. I
Full
like
back
that.
piece.
I like that.
And like the words sort of like as an arch over it. It's really artsy.
I like that. The irony is there too.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, what would you get?
What would I get?
Yeah, what would you get down on you?
Oh, what was that one I fucking said before? Oh, I forget what it was.
I bet you I know what it is, but I'm not going to tell you.
No, I fucking said it before. I literally said it loud. Oh, fuckity fuck shit.
You can come back to it.
I'll keep on thinking about it.
But
and
I
I'll
mean,
say
I've
it
got one.
sporadically.
What would you get, Peter?
All right, so this is like a bit of like it's a bit ruder.
It's a bit rude.
Bit rude.
Oh, no.
Are you going to offend us?
All right, so I'm going to stand up so I can just demonstrate to these guys while I demonstrate to the audience while talking to the microphone.
Do a thrust.
So I'm going to have roaches check in, click, click, but they don't check out.
Why would you want that on you?
Because, okay, so for that part,
Because if that's what you're getting done,
Yeah.
let me just come back at you with what I said I would get done, which was on let me get sent up. On my left arse cheek with an arrow would
Yeah.
say roaches check in. On my right arse cheek.
yes, sir!
You're a fucking arsehole. You reminded me what I said this right at the start. Roaches check in.
Do you know why?
Roaches check out.
That's why I asked you, hey, what do you want to get? And then you
Yeah,
couldn't remember. And I'm
that's
like,
what I
well, I know what I'm going to say. And it's what you want as well.
Fucking what you doing? You're a genius.
I'm also an asshole, but yes, we get two and two together.
Could you imagine having either of us having those tattoos?
Roaches check in. Roaches check out.
That's
That means nothing to anyone except how fucking corny it is, and maybe it might
Except-
I just love how,
nostalgia.
once again, Sam and I have somehow created a homoerotica without even
There's a
trying.
theme here.
I'm just waiting for someone to get so into the show they write a fan fiction about like the three of us fucking each other while a guest watches, and like it's written from the perspective of a guest.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
That's in depth.
They kept.
I'm not working.
Are
on
we
it or
breaking
anything.
the fourth wall?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what's happening right here.
The next message we get from Seth in a few weeks' time. Hey, boys, I've written you this.
I'm literally gonna fuck you up. You have no idea.
Well, I'm gonna wait for Alex before we move on to the fan fiction because this next song is actually like basically the greatest thing Peter and I have ever written. So,
Oh, yeah, you
Let me
guys need to hear
piss.
this.
all right.
okay, so it's time for
Fanfiction, motherfucker! Yeah! Fanfiction, motherfucker! Yeah! Baby, get hard, bitch! Yeah! Fanfiction, motherfucker! Yeah!
Oh, I've never been so rock hard.
Aaron's dead.
Was that everything you expected it to be?
That was fucking amazing. Holy shit. Was that, please tell me that's one of you guys going,
Peter.
Excellent.
Sounds created by my Juno, Sam's voice, and my voice.
Inglorious
amazing.
sci-fi.
I'm so glad I waited for that. Holy shit.
Fuck. So it is time for fan fiction, as the song states. So the story we're reading today is called "Here's My Body to Use." The summary of which is 2 agents and a tentacle creature alone in a building. Yes. I wonder how this one will go. That wasn't me who said it. That's just actually written there. Playing the role of Jay, we have Aaron, who's going to basically do his best to keep it as appropriate as possible, I imagine, which is not easy to do, but that's what he's going to do.
I'm going to try.
Yeah. And then playing the role of Kay, we have Alex of Odysseus. Alex, are you excited?
At your service. That sounded like Kay, right? At your service.
All right. Peter, you want to lead us in with some smooth saxophone?
I'll give it a go.
He wakes to something touching his ankles. Slowly, Jay becomes aware of being naked and held securely. No, tied in a tangle of thick, smooth ropes. They crisscross his chest, wind around his legs and wrists and cover his eyes. He's spread-eagled, suspended in midair.
All right, go on.
A voice says, and he shakes his head in confusion, going with what he thinks. Then something warm touches his thighs and slithers up, stroking his cheeks. He struggles violently, trying to get away. The rope across his eyes falls off, and he opens them, blinking into bright light. The room, the customs hub at the base, is nearly deserted. Only Agent K stands down on the floor in front of him, his face grim. Whatever is holding Jay up is holding him high. He looks down and screams.
Easy, Jay.
His partner says. They're easily as thick as 2 fingers and dark green. Tentacles, his mind says. They're fucking tentacles. He struggles harder, but the ropes, tentacles, don't give. Something behind him gurgles, and the tentacle that's nudging his cheeks slips between them and rubs against his opening.
What the fuck? Can't get the fuck out of here! Shoot the thing!
I'm sorry.
Though he doesn't look sorry.
This is how it has to be.
The tentacle is entering him slowly, and Jay cringes. It's rubbing against the skin of his hole, and it's too big, too rough despite its smooth surface. He squirms again, tilting his hips forward, away from the intruder. The tentacles around his torso tighten, maybe in warning, and the one in his ass pushes in farther. It widens quickly, painfully, and he curses and winces, and then something warm and liquid spreads inside his ass, and he goes limp. Warmth suffuses his body, suffuses his body. Every single one of his cells is on fire, in a good way. He can feel his cock harden. Jay says eloquently. The tentacle is no longer uncomfortable, but fills him perfectly, pushing in easily. Pleasure explodes inside him when it touches his prostate, but it keeps going. Vaguely, he wonders how far it will go, but the thought doesn't worry him, and eventually it stops. It pulses softly, spreading more warmth, and there's a second tentacle at his hole, pressing against the first.
Fuck!
He pants. Below him, Kay is looking at them critically.
Just relax.
Kay says.
Oh, fuck you.
Jay manages. He feels like he's floating, like the pleasure is the only thing connecting him to his body. That sensation of 2 tentacles inside him is overwhelming. They're dragging against each other and moving arrhythmically. They're squeezed so tightly inside him that they're rubbing against his prostate nearly constantly, and it's driving him insane. He twitches inside his bonds in blind need, trying to get some kind of friction against his cock.
Oh, come on, somebody touch me!
He says, but the creature holding him can't seem to understand him, and Kay is still eyeing them like a particularly interesting specimen. In the end, it doesn't matter. When the tentacles pick up speed, he comes, untouched, jerking helplessly in the creature's grip. He rides it out, an endless wave of pleasure and sensation, and feels the tentacles press simultaneously and release more liquid inside him as the creature growls softly.
All right, Jay.
Kay suddenly says. Jay opens his eyes. His partner is holding up a familiar small cylinder.
No, wait.
all he can say before he's blinded by red light. So from here, the story flashes back to before Jay was getting his butt pussy railed by tentacles. And shortly after that, flashes back to the pounding again. The writer gave no indication of this happening, so I added that piece just so I could explain it, because otherwise it's confusing. By the time they get there, the building is emptied. As the customs terminal, a lone visitor is tapping against the vending machine. It's just under 10 feet tall and reminds Jay of the monster from Alien, only with less teeth and more tentacles. It's also green.
It's Squillion.
Says Kay. His face is pale.
And it's in fertilization phase.
Words, Kate.
Jay reminds him.
You've got explaining things.
Kay turns to him.
If it doesn't complete its mating cycle within the next 2 weeks, its enzymes will turn into a bomb that could wipe out the entire planet.
Now Jay can feel himself pale too.
Is there a Mr. Squiggle Bean?
They don't usually leave their own planet, so I'd say no. This one was bought here as a weapon.
They both look at the squeegeean. It waves a tentacle. When Jay turns to look at his partner, he knows exactly what's going to come next.
No way.
He says.
The entire planet!
Kay reiterates.
I am not mating with that.
Jay says firmly. Kay looks contemplative all of a sudden.
The secretions of a squeegeon have been compared to that of a combination of aphrodisiacs and THC.
Listen to yourself, man.
Jay says.
Secretions?
No, you listen.
Kay says, determined.
It's you or me, and I'm the only one who knows how to treat it when it's done.
What? It needs to rub down or something?
Or something! Do you know the Tower of Squeegeons?
Kay has his teacher face on.
I didn't even understand what the hell you just said.
It's a religious tract on reproduction acts. When they've finished mating, it needs to be recited to them. The entire 10 pages.
Shit.
Jay says he grits his teeth. If he had known how this day would go, he never would have gotten up. He'd have picked up a nice, simple assignment that put him at the opposite end of the city and let someone else save the planet.
2 hours!
Kay reminds him.
And we can't find someone else in 2 hours?
The mail guy, he thinks. The security boys at the door. For someone out there, this must be a wet dream. Kay gives him a slightly shifty look.
We should start as soon as possible. The recitation takes time.
Okay.
He starts to tug off his shirt.
But you better be flashy thing me. I never want to remember this.
Kay nods.
Ready?
He asks, and Jay walks forward to the multi-limbed creature.
Oh, let's get this over with.
Flashback to Jay getting his butt pussy pummeled. When he comes to, his body feels limp. Something is fucking him. 2 objects thrusting into his ass in counterpoint. He flails weakly.
Oh, you're doing well.
Kay says, and Jay moans. He feels extraordinary, like he's riding the best high he's ever had, and pleasure is exploding in little sparks every time the things in his ass pass his sweet spot. He feels stuffed, like he's had too much to eat.
Not you.
Kay says incongruously.
But you're doing fine too, Jay.
There's a burbling sound from behind him, and the objects in his ass still. They seem to come inside of him for a long, long time. When he cradles his head down, his stomach bulges slightly.
Oh, fuck.
He whimpers. The objects, tentacles, take up their rhythm again, each thrust accompanied by wet sounds.
Another 10 times should do it.
Kay's voice seems to come from a distance. Red lights surround him.
Oh, man. The end. Holy shit.
Oh, man, I hope you guys came as hard as I did.
Yeah. We've bonded now.
That was beautiful.
Holy shit. Majestic.
Peter, what have you done to your microphone?
Don't know.
Twisted it like Jay's cock.
It's sad at me now, and I don't know why. What I've done. I think it might be that part there. There it is.
What? It's sad at me.
Loosen it. Pete, loosen that. Twist this.
Sometimes you have to go forward before you can go back.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah,
Sorry?
You need to tighten that piece.
Yeah?
You looking at what I'm doing?
No.
Yeah. Look what I'm doing. Loosen this and then
This
tighten
little
this.
bit. Yo.
Ah, Yeah, rock and roll. That's what I'm missing.
That was some pretty hot fan fiction.
I was
That got me riled.
pretty much riled.
I did a cum.
I did a cum.
At least one.
Yeah, at least one.
At least one cum. One quick sneaky cum.
All right. So let us summarize and close out this long, long episode. Men in Black, for all its greatness, has a lot of flaws. With taking 2 days to train an agent, to flashing every motherfucker and hoping you don't give them brain tumors, but also being very, very destructive in an environment where you just literally can't capture everybody. I know that they try to surround an area, but they really don't do a very good job of it. And what are some other points you had?
Oh, man. I think it's too far gone on that one.
The fucking pencil. Not knowing how to use a pencil.
I think it's kind of detrimental that they let agents choose their own time when they're ready to finish. Like, Old Mate was clearly over it because he couldn't, like, pull his weapon. He should have been retired already.
Yeah.
I think that's
Questionable employment plan.
Yeah, questionable employment plan. Clearly, no like superannuation. Like what happens? You get your mind
401k.
erased, and then yeah, and now suddenly
America.
it's a terrible business.
Shaking dogs around to
Yeah,
get answers
yeah.
out of
That's
them.
just funny, though.
was started by the
Stand by
government
that.
but is now independent.
Yeah,
That's kind of sketchy in itself.
that is very sketchy in itself. Yeah, cool. I guess, with all that, it's probably safe to say
It's a bit shady.
Thank you for listening to another episode of It's a Bit Shit. We have to apologise for the delay in releasing this episode. Sometimes these things happen. It is just the way it goes. We hope you enjoyed this episode. We want to thank the Odysseus boys for coming on and creating absolute chaos. It was a good time. I think in some part, maybe during the fan fiction, if you listen really closely, you can hear Seth vomiting his guts up from the toilet, which is pretty great. Other than that, though, thank you for listening. As per usual, like us and follow us and subscribe and share it with your friends and tell everyone about this great, fantastic podcast. Yay! No, but seriously, you should. Other than that, though, thank you very much for listening. We've been It's a Bit Shit, and this is a sweet jam that Alex and Pete did, like, duetting on the keyboard together to close out the episode. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.